Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. I was going to do this about an hour earlier than now, but I was resting. I had a little bit of a headache earlier just because I played tennis this morning and it's really hot, and sometimes when it's really hot, I think I just get a little dehydrated and I just needed to rest. So I'm feeling better, the headache's gone, and I decided I'd jump on and show you a couple of cards. I'm just checking to make sure that I'm actually live on my computer. Yep, there it is. And so if you're watching, say hello. If you're watching the replay, you can let me know you watched the replay. Let's see. Yep, it looks like we are all set on the computer side of things. So I can go ahead and jump in and get started. Yep, there we go. Okay. So this is one of our new bundles that just came out last week. It's called Words and Wishes. And I'm not going to lie, I love all the words, but I bought it because I really liked the cake. I don't know, for some reason it just really did. So I'm going to actually show you how I just made a very simple cake with it on the first card. And so this is what the stamp set looks like. And then there's coordinating dies that go with it. And the dies are fun. We're going to use the dies on the second card. So you'll be able to see that when we use the word birthday, for example, which we are going to use on the second card, it cuts out the word birthday, but then it also cuts out the background. So you get the matted birthday. So we'll show you that on the second card. But it's got the cake, and it's got there's some presents in here, and it's got some leaves that are extra in case you want to do something with some leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and just set this aside, and we'll go ahead and jump in and get started. So this is the first card we're going to make, and this is a lot of fun. Like it's, I don't do a lot of black and white, but I was just really excited to do this card in black and white. And of course, I'm trying to remember what paper that is. So I'm looking real quick to see if I can find it. I apologize. I usually know ahead of time. I usually pull everything out that I use, but this time I didn't. So if I had to guess, yep, I don't know, actually. I will look that up later, and I will let you know what designer paper that was. I thought I had the answer, but I do not. So, all right, yep, I will find that later, and I will let you know what designer paper that comes from. But I like the black and white. Sometimes I don't use it a lot, but for this card, I just decided that I was going to jump in and use black and white. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with this stamping. So I have my Memento black ink that I'm going to use. And I put it on my larger ink pad to make it easier for me. And so we are going to stamp, make sure you can see everything. We're just stamping the birthday cake using the black ink. And then we're going to keep the black ink out. And from my little supplies here, I have a piece of white cardstock for my words. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink up the happy and the birthday and put it on this banner of white cardstock. Got happy and we got birthday. And I like the fact that they're separate. You'll see on the next card, we're going to use the dies for the birthday, but we're going to use the stamp for the happy part. So I think that's kind of what their thinking was when they did them separately. Let me put the black out of the way. And then for this banner piece, we're gonna just come in with our scissors and we're gonna just create our banner ends. And I always like to come in from the middle first and then from the edges just to meet it there in the middle. All right, so don't forget to say hi if you're watching. Maybe tell me where you're watching from. Hopefully you're having cooler weather than we are having here. It's a little on the warm side. It's a little early for it to be as warm as it is right now. All right, so then we're gonna get out. There's 2 different candles that are part of the set. So we are going to use Darling Duckling, which is one of the in colors. And we're gonna use Petal Pink. Trying to make sure that you can see everything I'm doing here. Here we go. And so I'm going to use Petal Pink on the larger of the candle, and we're going to create this little candle piece to go on the top. So we're going to start by stamping a candle in Petal Pink, and this is the larger one. Then we're going to come in with the smaller candle and do it in Darling Duckling, and we're just going to alternate. Until we have enough candles. We're gonna do one more of the Petal Pink. There we go, there's our candles. And I'm gonna just put these ink pads away and get them out of the way. All right, so I'm going to use the coordinating die to cut out the cake. But before I do that, I'm going to cut out the candles. And what I'm going to do is cut that aside. So for the die for the cake, we're just going to use a little washi tape or Post-it note, whatever it is you use, in order to hold it in place while you run it through the machine. And we're going to run that through the machine. And we're going to take our candles and we're actually going to we're going to fussy cut around the candles. And you can leave extra down here, so you don't need to cut close here. So we're just cutting, really, it's just about cutting around 3 sides. This could be fun. Like you could go across the whole page if somebody's having like a really big birthday. You could stamp all kinds of candles across the front of a card. I just did enough candles for the cake. And there's no right or wrong when you're fussy cutting. You can cut as close as you want or as far away as you want. So see how I'm going to just leave extra because that's going to get hidden behind the cake. So, and then off camera, I'm going to run the cake through the die cut machine. And by the magic of television, I've already done that just so that I already have that ready to go. And we are ready to assemble this card. So this is a really fast and easy card to make. I have a piece of black cardstock that I have cut in half, scored in half, and this is going to be a card that opens, so it's a standing up card. You can stand it up if you want. And I am going to give that a good crease with the bone folder. And I'm going to get out my glue, my favorite adhesive. I've got a piece of white cardstock that goes on the inside that I'm going to add my glue to the corners and one to the middle. This is so that you have something to write on the inside of the card. And then I have a piece of Petal Pink that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And I have a piece of this designer paper that is 4 by 5 1/4, so we're gonna mat that. And that, it goes onto the front of our card. Again, our 5 dots of glue. If you're using more than that, uh-oh. I apparently cut my, my mat's bigger than it's supposed to be. But there's an easy fix to that. We're just gonna come in and trim off. I must have cut it 4 1/4 instead of 4 1/8. There we go. All fixed. All right. Then I have a circle. This is from our stylist Shapes Dies. If you watch my videos often, you'll know it's one of my favorite sets to use. I use it all the time. We're just gonna center that on the card. And I need some dimensionals. And did I mention I rearranged my desk the other day, so now I have to find everything again. So I am going to, what I'm going to start with is the happy birthday. I'm just going to use a few dimensionals on the back of that. Probably 3 because it's pretty long. We're going to pop that up. And then for the cake, see, we just tuck that behind there. So we kind of figure out where we want it, flip it over, and I'm gonna just take a dimensional to kind of glue them together. So now it's not gonna move, but then I'll take a couple more dimensionals. Maybe just one more. And we're gonna add that on top of the circle. And then the last thing that we're going to add are some embellishments, and I am using the 2025-2027 in color flat pearls. I'm going to get my take your pick tool. And I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna get the Darling Duckling. So, and there's a large, medium, and small. So we're gonna put a large one here, a small one here, and the medium one is gonna go down here. And just like that, that card is done. Is that too close? I'm gonna move that out of the way so you can see it better. Super quick and simple. Like, you could easily mass produce this and have cards to send on a moment's notice. So now let me go ahead and set that aside and get ready for the next card. So again, if you're watching, make sure you say hello. Here is the next card that we're going to make. And let me go ahead and get out all of my supplies for this one. Just so that I have everything. Okay. There's a lot of little pieces. Sorry about that. I'm going to smooth these over here. All right, so make sure you can still see the card. And so I have a piece of Timid Tiger cardstock as my card base. I'm going to set that aside for now. And I have a piece of white cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4 that I've used the Forever Plaid embossing folder on. And we're going to just add a little color by using our blending brush and our Timid Tiger ink. And I don't like to go directly from like the ink pad to here. Make sure you can see everything. So I like to kind of touch it off a little first because I feel like it's just kind of, it can be harsh if you don't touch it off first. But this is how simple this is, to just add a little color to the background of your card. And because it's got the embossed plaid on there, it really kind of picks up better in some places than others. And I remember when I did this the first time, I needed to go a little lower and a little higher. So we're gonna go a little bigger this time. All right, so we've got our Timid Tiger. And I'm gonna set that piece aside. We're gonna do some stamping. So I have cut out, so one of the pieces that are included in this die set is this tag die, which is what this is. I've already cut it out. And we are just going to stamp the I'm so lucky to have you as my friend using the Timid Tiger. And then set that aside. We are going to, on some scrap paper, we are going to stamp some of the presents. And there's two different presents, two different sizes, shapes. One's more rectangular, one's more square. So I need one with Timid Tiger of each. And then I have to clean them, so hold on, I'm cleaning them. Because we also need one of each with Strawberry Slush, which is another in color. So now we have 4 of the little presents. And we have dies that coordinate with that. So we'll just give you a preview of the dies. And these will cut this out perfectly. So just use the little washi tape there to hold it in place. Same here. And we're going to run that through our machine. And after we've run it through our machine, we will have our presents that go on the front of our card. So we'll set those aside. Now I have another scrap piece of white cardstock here, and I'm going to use the Happy, and I'm inking it up with the Timid Tiger. I'm just going to stamp that on that banner piece. And we're gonna get out our scissors so that we can create another banner like we did on the first card. If you've watched some of my videos, you probably notice I tend to do this a lot. It's just a fun, easy way to change it from just a rectangle piece of paper to like a fun little banner. And you know, you don't even have to have a special die to do it. Just use your scissors. So there's our Happy. All right, so included in the dies, as I mentioned before, is you've got the words that you can use, and we are going to use the Happy, well, the birthday, sorry, not the Happy, but the birthday. There is Happy as well, so you could do both. You could do the opposite of what I'm doing. You could do Happy, and then you could stamp the word birthday on the banner. So I've run this through the machine. I did the background, which is our matting piece, in white. And then I ran the birthday with the Strawberry Slush, which is the same color we just stamped with. And I'm gonna go ahead and assemble that and show you. Now, I would highly recommend, if you're going to get this stamp set and these dies, especially the dies, we do sell adhesive sheets that you can put on the back side of your cardstock, that when you're ready to apply it to your card, you just peel it off. And I will actually, here, I'll actually show you. So this is a piece of Timid Tiger, and on the back side, this is an adhesive sheet. And so if I were to pull this up, this whole piece is now sticky. So I used that for another step of this card to do the confetti on, because it makes it super easy to just peel off the back and put the confetti on. But I did not use it on the birthday. So for the birthday, we're just gonna come in and add a little bit of glue. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. Move that up a little bit. We'll add the birthday. Ah. Big fingers. I feel like my fingers are so big sometimes. And you don't have to put it on like the whole thing. Just enough to make it stay. And then there is a little dot that you can use for the birthday. This is where the adhesive would actually come in handy, but would still be challenging. So I'm going to show you a different trick, which is to take your stamping blends, and I'm going to use the light strawberry slush, and I'm going to use the pointed end, and I'm going to just come in and make my dot. Now you can see I have the dot there. That's how little it is. So, oh, you know what's really funny? So I think that's actually Flirty Flamingo. There you go. It's Flirty Flamingo. It's not even strawberry slush, but we're gonna roll with it, and we're gonna stick with the strawberry slush for the inks that I'd already did. Maybe my headache isn't all the way gone. I crack myself up sometimes. Okay, so we are ready to do a little bit of assembling. We're gonna start with our card base. This is Timid Tiger, and we're gonna go ahead, it's a half a sheet. We've cut it in half, now we've scored it in half, and we're going to add some glue on a piece of white cardstock for the inside. Now I will say this, one thing that I think is something that's very kind of overlooked, underrated by me, not by everybody, but I just kind of forget to do it, is that if you really wanted to, you could stamp, and I'm just going to do one real quick. I'm going to come in with the present, and I'm going to just stamp it down here. So you could do this on your envelopes, you could do this on the inside of your cards. It's just one of those things that I don't remember to do often, because usually, you know, I'm demonstrating and I just kind of forget. So, but it adds a nice touch to the inside. So then we're gonna add our piece of embossed paper. This is the Forever Plaid. It's a great embossing folder to have in your collection. And we're gonna add that to the front of the card. And we're gonna kind of start, you know me, I like to lay things out a little bit before I get going too much. We got the birthday, and we got the happy. I just kind of want to have an idea where things are going. Sticking to my finger, because I have a little bit of glue on my finger. So the birthday, I'm going to use dimensionals. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the words down. The trick with this embossing folder is that the plaid may not be like straight. So you're kind of trying to just make sure you have it straight on your card. So we got that. We're going to go ahead and add the birthday. And then we will add the happy. Ooh, that was a lot of glue. You don't need that much glue. That's just a waste. You don't need that much. You can make that glue bottle last you a really, really long time if you are careful with it. All right, and then we're gonna add some of our gifts. We've got one going up here. We've got another one that goes down here with some glue. We need some dimensionals for the other two presents. It's like the perfect size because the dimensional fits just right. So this one goes up here. This one goes down here. Now, for the fun part of this card, we are going to add some confetti. And this is what the confetti die looks like. And it's really fun for the actual like longer swirly pieces. It's a little challenging for the little circles. So what I'm actually going to do, I have already cut some out. And again, I put some adhesive sheets on the back of here. I've already cut them out. And I'm gonna add the little squiggly lines on here, but I'm gonna show you a different way to do the dots if you decide that they're too hard to put on, which I think they are. I think they need to be a little bit bigger, honestly. So I'm gonna take my take your pick tool and I'm gonna peel off the backing if I can. Just it should come off pretty easily. There we go. And just start setting my squiggly pieces on the card. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Thought it separated, but it didn't. Okay. So we got another squiggly piece that goes up here. And you really, if you've got nails, you can do this without this. I'm gonna add a squiggly piece down here. And this is fun. Like if you like to do detailed cards, like the squigglies, they are fun. I'm gonna show you an alternative for the dots, because those dots to me are, actually the dots are easier to put on with glue than they are with using the adhesive sheet. But I'm gonna just take a blend. I'm taking the dark Timid Tiger with the fine point in, and I'm just gonna go in and add some dots. Because in my opinion, this kind of does the same thing. Like the longer you set it on there, the larger the dot will be. I need another squiggly over here. And we'll add one over here. And we're gonna add one more squiggly. So if you know me, or you follow me at all, you know I don't like cards to be super like tedious and such. So to me the confetti is tedious, but it's fun. And again, the squiggly lines, easy to do. So the marker trick is just a neat trick. And the last thing we're gonna add is we're gonna add some, I'm using iridescent pearls, the basic jewels, but I'm almost out of these. So if you do decide you want to place an order to get these card supplies for free, I will probably substitute using some of these white Pearls of Beauty instead. They're very similar. So I'm just going to show you what I did was I just added a few dots, a few of the embellishments. And we're going to add one more down here for fun. There we go. So there we go. That is what that card looks like. So as I mentioned in my description above, if you love these cards and you would like to receive the supplies to make 2 of each, and I'll show you both of them here. These are the cards. If you place a $30 order with me before Saturday, so in the next couple of days, place a $30 order with me, I am going to send you in the mail all of the pre-cut supplies to make both cards. Doesn't come with any stamping. It will come with the birthday that's die cut. And it'll come with any other die cuts, anything that's not stamped. So if you love the set and you're like, I think I want to order the set, then go ahead and order the bundle, which is called Words and Wishes. And I will send you the supplies so that you can make these cards yourself. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.